If I don't have a tool, I'll make a tool to make the tool, you know what I mean? And it can be done. You just gotta have a drive for it, really. My father builds homes for a living, and he's always very meticulous about how things are done. Things should be done the right way. It takes just as much time to do things the right way as it does the wrong way most of the time. You build things right, you overbuild them, build them stronger, and we'll be successful. I design and engineer everything myself. I don't have anybody help me do anything, really. If it's something I don't know how to do, I'll watch them do it and learn how to do it so I can do it next time. Just 2 years ago, I was at work, and a buddy of mine is like, "Oh, you can't even, you know, these guys are getting all this track time in there, and they know this and that and whatever, and you can't compete with those big cars." And well, here I am now, and I can. It can be done. You know, a lot of guys are like, "Oh, well, I don't have the money to go against these guys," and whatever. It's not about that. If you have the passion to do it, you can do it. I was in college, just hard up for money, obviously, like most kids are, and it was just sitting in my parents' house, and I was like, well, I could probably get a couple grand for it. It was running at the time, not great, but it was running, and I had a guy, he wanted it, and we back and forth the phone calls and stuff, and he backed out of it for some reason. He's like, well, if the car's so great, then why are you selling it? And I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't really know. But luckily he backed out, and I kept it. A buddy of mine had an Eagle Talon that was ridiculously fast, and we used to race all the time, and he'd always beat me. And it bothered me, and I came home one day, I'm like, I want to sell the car. I'm like, I want something faster. My dad's like, why don't you just make that faster? You don't need a new car. There's nothing wrong with that one. It's a rare, better car. Yeah, he's right, it is now. I just get the biggest kick out of sitting back and staring at it. Usually I'll spend hours out here at night, and then the last hour I'll just sit on the ground and look at it. People worry about so much stuff every day, and I don't know, I just like to think about what I can do to this thing I don't want to say it consumes me, but if I have nothing good to think about, I think about this. If I get bored, I just grab pen and paper and start drawing something, see what else I can do. There's always stuff that can be improved on, constantly. There's always somebody better, there's always somebody faster, and I want to be that somebody. Keeps my mind at peace. Everybody's got to have inspiration to do something, and I look at some of the cars that I race against, and it's just super inspiring, super inspiring. And for me, it's even better if I beat them and they got $1 million in their car. If I can't work on the car in the garage, I'll work on it digitally, you know what I mean? Because I could constantly be building stuff, constantly. And it's a tool I learned in college. I learned how to do the digital modeling in college, and I do it at work sometimes, and for me, it's just fun to, you can build anything. You can build anything in 3D, and there's a lot more you can do with it once, I don't know how, but you could do aero testing with stuff and stuff like that. I mean, it's just limitless as to what you can do with a car, and it's technology that's used by, aside from OEMs, racing teams, big money companies, and I just like messing around with it for stuff like this. It's a great tool. Again, there's something to be said about the guys that can shape metal. I can do it with a lot of Bondo, but something like this, I can achieve perfect surface quality just by clicking a mouse. It's hard for some people to grasp. Some people walk around the car. Biggest kick I get is when I'm at car shows and people come up on the car and like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at the interior. And then they get around, they're like, oh my God, it's got a Corvette motor in it, It's just great to watch. It's, I don't know, very rewarding to watch what people's reactions are. One of the first shows I took it to when I had it built, a guy offered me $50,000 for it, which was, it's an ungodly amount of money for something like this, and I was like, that's great, but I can't do it. And he's like, really? I'm like, no, I can't. I'm like, I could build you one, but I can't sell you this one, Just, I don't know, I've had it forever. The car's been with me for forever. Forever and ever, it's since I could drive. It's, I don't know, been everywhere with me, taken me everywhere,